All right, I'm gonna walk you through this quick, simple procedure so you guys can get that new sensor calibrated. So as you can see here, I tied channel 1 to channel 2, but when you put your sensor in, the first thing you want to do is do a tear. So I guess unhook unhook the tube, so both channels, well, your channel 1 is the one you're replacing, so make sure that's open to atmosphere. Hit the little gear teeth, you go to calibrate, and you go to calibration. That gives pass our warning. First you're going to do vacuum. You have to pull a vacuum on that sensor. Well, you have actually 4 cal points. So as soon as you go to that, whatever that number is reading, press that tear button and make sure it's all open to atmosphere, no air going through it, the valve is still off. Hit the tear so it'll be at a full 0, and then you'll do valve on, and then you'll feel a suction start coming out of that channel 1. So you'll have a SMC regulator that's on that right here on the top corner of your tester, just that regulator to get to your 4 set points, and you'll see them on the screen. So now you'll hook 1 and 2 back up. So your hose will be just like that. Now that you're hooked up, do the valve on, and you're going to start getting, you'll see a reading on sensor number 2. So whatever the number is in number 1 box in your cal point number 1, adjust that regulator to get as close as you can to the sensor number 2 reading, and then make sure the number 1 sensor button is highlighted. Touch that number 1 box and it will pop up. The number, it says 1 PSI vacuum if that's what the number 1 cal point is. Then press enter. By doing that, you just told the sensor on channel 1 that it is the same vacuum pressure as sensor 2, which is same as 3 and 4, so they're all calibrated. So I'll actually go through the numbers on here on the positive side. This tester right here does not have vacuum, so I didn't want to touch any of these actual cal points. So I'm going to go back into cal, go to the pressure side, and see this is a 0 to 30 tester. Yours, I believe, is 0 to 10 or 15, I think. But see, mine has 3 through 30. So doing the same thing, I'm going to go valve on. So now the pressure is coming through. Mine are 2 hooked up. It says 10 PSI. So I'm going to adjust the regulator. I'm going to back that down. Make sure you can read this. I'll zoom in a little. I'm going to back that down so it says 3 PSI. So there's 3 PSI. My sensor's reading that. So my number 1 cal point is 3. So what I do is I touch number 3. 3 pops up on the screen. I'm calibrating my number 1 sensor. I'm going to tell the tester number 1 sensor is at 3 PSI, and I know this because my number 2 sensor, which I'm reading off of, just like you're going to be doing with this, says 3 PSI. So by pressing enter, it just took that cal point. Now sensors 1 and 2 are 3 PSI. So to move on, now I'll see the next one, 6 PSI. I'm going to turn the regulator, get everything up to 6 PSI. And now do the same thing. I would touch number 2, the screen pops up, press enter, and so on. Now, you'll probably need to do a tear on the pressure side and the vacuum side. It's good to do that just so the tester knows, where so the sensor knows what's an actual 0. So once you're all done with the vacuum, do the vacuum first, get all 4 cal points, then turn the valve off, go back into cal, do the pressure side like I was just doing. When you're all done, hit the back button, and now it's saved. So you should be good to go, and then you can go from there. The cal sheet that you currently have is legit for channels 2, 3, and 4, and basically you're using the traceability from our calibration standard to our sensor and board, which we guarantee for 1 year in order to calibrate your new sensor on channel 1. So as far as traceability, you know, through by means of 2 loops, you're still there. If you need any paperwork or anything from us to help justify that, you know, that's all still legit and it's all good, let me know. And then also when it comes time for your calibration, if you need, like if you want to send it back to us for this year and we do all 4 of them, so you have a cal sheet for each standard again, and then you guys do your own, whatever you guys need, we'll make it happen, whatever's easiest for you and the least amount of paperwork and whatnot. So that's how you should do it. If you have any questions, give us a call, and this video is coming your way.